The sound of a beast roaring in the background nerves them. But what they discover is not a minotaur. Oh, no, no, no. It's something a lot worse. Oh no, Jimmy, oh no. Glenn, Curly Joe, what is that before us? It looks like an elephant, but it looks sillier. Oh, crikeys, not again. What the heck is that? This is some for Sesame Street. Oh, no, not again. What do you mean, not again? You've seen this before? Yes. I've seen this. Yes, I've seen it before. I've seen it. Yeah, but I've seen this before when I was on Milo's ship during the final freighter. It is a snuggle wampapush. A snuggle. What a push? It's a snuggle wampapush. It's from Sesame Street, but it's become feral. It's become feral. I can remember Glenn. He sort of mumbled something about this. I don't understand though. Well, let's do some retro backtracking in the Saturngrad universe. Ladies and gentlemen at home, we had a cast member be killed by a snuggle wampapush. If you go and look at the Robert Gloversville movies. One of them is called The Final Freighter, and one of them has that poor Peter Graves was killed by a snuggle wampapush. I'm so sorry it happened. Mr. Pennypacker made a snuggle wampapush kill a beloved cast member. It went after Pooh Guppy Adams too, and I love how we're just talking like this, really nonchalant. The beast is just over there, just staring at us. Well, a lot of times it doesn't have a caretaker right now, so maybe it's confused. It's kind of like the Rancor. If it didn't have the Rancor keeper, to man, those figures were everywhere back then. The Rancor keeper, everyone had one. Listen, so. But meanwhile, Milo and company laugh on the monitor. This is so great! Oh, this is so funny! Now I know why Mr. Pennypacker liked the Snuggle Wumpapuss. This is a knee slapper. This is a knee slapper. To see these like little peasants running around and trying to figure this thing out, although it's being quite pleasant, Dark Milo. Dark Milo, I remember that thing. That thing caused a lot of havoc. It killed Peter Graves. Yeah, it did do that. Yeah, I don't know. Mr. Pennypacker was really into like cleaning house back then. I was kind of like, well, we don't actually kill the heroes, we just prolong their suffering until they figure a way to escape, but it's really not the industry standard to kill the hero, but they were kind of like, well, he's like, well, we kill them now. And of course I was just a head on a shelf or whatever, and I couldn't really do anything about it. I was really I wasn't used to someone that powerful, and he had control of you, Sir William, and your quantum computer. So he had world access. He was immensely powerful. I was totally out of my league. And well, thanks to me, you now have the control. You have the power. I have the power. Meanwhile, an Aunt Jemima is observing, and obviously sending reports back to Dark Milo. And Joe throws a coat on it to distract it. See, Joe has kind of snuck away into the maze, because he got a little bit flustered, I mean, he's a huge Snuggle-Wumpus, and the thing's feral. They never told us on Sesame Street that these things can become feral. It's very scary. Who knows? Maybe it could be radiation or whatever. So, but Joe has found an Aunt Jemima, and he has done it. I should do it. I threw a coat over the Aunt Jemima. So now. Hey. Who threw the coat over the Aunt Jemima? We worked really hard on those Aunt Jemimas, and now they can't even, see, oh, come on, man, come on. The Snuggle-Wumpus destroys the distracted Aunt Jemima and is covered in maple syrup. Oh, look at that! That's great! Oh, that's great! Oh, you see that, Glenn? The Aunt Jemima was covered in maple. Got distracted. The Snuggle-Wumpus was freaked out, and it destroyed the Aunt Jemima, and now it's covered in maple syrup. Oh, cracky! I don't know where Joe went to. Maybe he kind of helped us with that. The Snuggle-Wumpus disappears for its programming has become corrupted. Oh, they destroyed my Snuggle-Wumpus. Sir William Esquire, can you do anything about this? I'm trying to, sir. We're going into the code right now. And it's not good. It got corrupted. The maple syrup, I hadn't thought about that what does your Snuggle-Wumpus do if it's covered in maple syrup? And it just freaked out. It just totally glitched out. I'll remember this. This is not over. Oh, Joe, we are playing Elder Scrolls Online. Yeah, this is that ESO. It's pretty close, isn't it, to the Elder Scroll games? And it's actually not at first. It got better. They just made it more and more to the point that it was it had that Elder Scrolls environment. You can even steal things and get in trouble, and you can even kill NPCs. I think, of course, you don't really want to do that because you get the guards to chase you and stuff. We're mostly try to be good people here. We don't try to do the illegal stuff. Especially you notice how it's steal. You can. And when the game first came out, I don't think you could do that. I think you could. I don't know. But they went all the way, as far as this game didn't suffer the consequences like 76 did. Like Fallout 76. It generally is a well-loved game. And actually, the interesting thing is, when you look up stats of what the most popular MMOs are, this is fairly the number one MMO. I know someone could say, well, isn't World of Warcraft still number one? And I think that's it. The numbers are still strong for it, but it's not as, obviously it's something like that's going to, kind of degenerate over years, that it's going to, it's not going to be the same. Usually the top two MMOs, Joe, is Final Fantasy 14 and this. Those are generally the top ones. And this game's good because you don't really need if you want to team up with people, you can. That's an MMO thing. And is it player versus player? Oh, there is. It's in the imperial capital. And if you go there, I guess you can get totally destroyed. So I've never in the history of this game gone to those places because I never played the game long enough to really get strong enough to, you know, do something like that. I will be honest with you, Joe. Here at Saturngrad, like Frater was always of the opinion that the game was kind of an Elder Scroll amusement park. It didn't feel like he. I think we become more sympathetic for this over time, but it's just you need to understand, Joe. Like when we turn on our Xbox Series X or Xbox One or whatever it used to be called, it's been a while, so we got quite a few Xbox systems and even a PlayStation 5 and a PlayStation 4. There's kind of not a lot of excuses to play this unless we're doing a show. And we kind of went, well, we didn't really do ESO for the show. Why don't we do that? I know someone's thinking, well, why haven't you done anything about that scroll? Well, you need to understand, we haven't, at the time of this playthrough, we have now officially not played this game in probably 2 years. It's been a while. Like I said, I don't think we'd really take this seriously enough. But as this playthrough will show, and the next couple shows, we had fun. We had fun fighting monsters, and died a few times. Got too comfy in our environment, and we this poor Khajiit, he's looking at us like, are you done looking at stuff, or you're buying? Yeah, you gotta buy the lockpicks. He's like, yeah, you gotta buy the lockpicks. Yeah, he's got I don't know. He looks concerned for you. The kid, he's very concerned. He's very, very concerned for us. He's looking at us like, why haven't you played my game in 2 years? Why have you not played our game in 2 years? What is wrong with you? There's people who love us. What do I have to do to convince you otherwise? That's kind of a funny bit there. Every time we see him, he's like, what is wrong with you people? What is wrong with you people? Why don't you get it? This is really fun. You don't play it. Well, here's why we don't play it too. You know why? It's because we have limited hard drives, okay? There's too many damn games. There's too many games. It doesn't help when you have a game like Red Dead Redemption 2 and it demands 100 gigabytes from you, or you know how many gigabytes on this system we have for Flight Simulator, Microsoft Flight Simulator? It's 200 gigabytes. I mean, and that's believable because there's endless content possibly being pumped into it all the time. There's the constant map improvements and graphical improvements. You can buy literally just small little airports and improve the detail and graphics to it. We don't get into that, but we're casual aviation fans here. You say, well, why do you still got that? It's because aviation's fun. It just is, But also you can do boating in that game. I know someone's go, wait, hold it. What, boating? Yes, they allow you to have a boat now. You can buy a boat. And, we bought a boat, and I haven't really checked that store in a long time, but they continuously keep adding more and more planes, obscure planes. I'm talking about planes that have a 50% crash 50% possibility of crashing because they were just not very sound and not safe and not anything that you would want to, you know. I forget what the plane is. It's like from the 30s or the 20s or something, and it was like a passenger plane and stuff, like a luxury plane. It had bars on it, and it has a 50% crash possibility of crashing. But nonetheless, we're trying to explain to people why we don't play this game more, and it's just too many games. You know, and it doesn't help when we have also sort of a retro theme in a lot of our shows. Like, the Farfinger Gaming Show is really meant to be about modern gaming. It's not meant to be about the retro stuff. But there are times where I don't know, I think that seeps in. It's sort of like, you know, it's kind of like Ghostbusters 2 when you had that the river of pink slime. You know, it's kind of like to us underground us, that's the pink slime, that's the retro, the retro stuff, and we can't help it. It just comes out the faucet sometimes, you know. That was really a fun movie. It was a really fun movie, Joe. Ghostbusters 2 was fun. It's a controversial opinion, but it was. You know, I don't know why it's a controversial opinion, but it was generally a fun sequel because it did a lot of things. You know, you had that basically after the first movie they were unemployed because they wiped out every paranormal event in the city. I'm sorry, Bertie. I wasn't sure if you were a baddie or a goodie. You're a goodie, and I'm sorry, but we'll be enjoying your poultry. If we never usually have a need to eat, so here we go. We go fight some monsters, some ugly monsters. I forget what this creature looks like. You know, kind of looks like those like eggs from you know what it reminds me of, these monsters here? It reminds me of the creatures from Gremlin. You know, when they're in their cocoons and stuff, and it's really disgusting. That's what they remind me of. And, you know, if you put them on their side and stuff, and, you know, see, we got to get back into blocking. We got to get back into the sort of the groove of things, you know. So we're really not paying attention, and, you know, we're taking damage. And I know someone's going to say, why are you in third person? They always play in third person because we play this like an Elder Scroll game. The reason they play it in third person is probably because they're in an area of PvP, and you really want to know if someone's going to come up to you and start whacking at you. You don't want to be in first person with a limited screen. You know, you got these blinders in all directions, so that's why they do that. And yeah, it also kind of keeps monsters from sneaking up on you, but we like the first person. So we're in northern elsewhere, where this is generally the land of the Khajiits, and I haven't really figured out how do you get to the different provinces, like, to be honest, like, you know, it's not like Ultima Online where you have moon gates. I did see like a way shrine, you know, where you can kind of fast travel to certain locations, but I don't think I'm gonna sneak up on this bird. Sorry, bird. The bird is not the word. We put an end to that one. So yes, you can fish in this game. I used to like to do fishing too, but I don't think we got a fishing rod on us right now. It's kind of a in this game. You would say, well, why play this? Why? It's because the things they do in this game will tell us, you know, dead centipede. You know, now this monster here across from us is some pretty bad news. We learned fairly fast we were out of our league with this guy. He was pretty much crushing us, and I kind of noticed that his his health wasn't moving, which pretty much that's not good. And you could see we're getting crushed here. Luckily, we ran off into the water, and you can see he's getting close to just destroying us, and he can't cross the stream. It's like, speaking of Ghostbusters, he can't cross the streams, Joe, so he can't get us, and we're safe. They probably put him over there for a reason. They didn't want him to chase the players, so they put the water there so you can at least, like, if you're weak, you can kind of run away from him. But like I said, there's a lot of innovations with Bethesda. Well, I feel like there's a part of me laughing at myself for saying that, because they generally just they go as cheap as you can go. Like even with you gotta be careful with inventory management. Well, there's many times we ran out of space. Now, if you get enough of these, you can get some skill points from that. Have you ever played, wasn't there like an Elder Scrolls, Blades or something? That was the mobile Elder Scrolls. That was an attempt to make a smartphone Elder Scrolls game, and it's very crappy. It's a fairly crappy, and nobody talks about that game. And unfortunately, it's very important for people not to play games like that, because it's it creates a bad habit. So you take a lot of these rawhide straps and you can sell that and get a few coin. See, what they do is they keep the rewards fairly low, because they want you to. It's a pay to win game, so they generally want you to go and buy. Go ahead and buy gold and whatever, and that way you can get anything you want that way without having to work for it, which is really against kind of the point of this whole thing. The whole point of this is to, it's to play the game, it's to grow, it's to, it's to grind, it's an MMO. MMOs are always been about grinding. So I do like the fact that, you don't have to really stick to some kind of like you don't really have to stick to it, a class. You could just sort of do whatever you want. That's sort of why Elder Scroll games are popular. Just, do whatever you want, no class restrictions. If you want to do archery, you want to do whatever you want to do. If you want to do archery over there, go ahead, build up your skills. But then if you want to do like double-handed, you can, two-handed, you can do that. And these guys are, they're rocking us. So this is it's been a while since we've actually died. So, just got to deal with that. And actually telling you about recent damage. That's interesting. Oh, so what it does now is it lets you be a ghost for a little bit, and then that way you can run away. You know, like if you're around like some really high level people, then you can just run away if you feel like you can't handle them. Whereas with these ones, I feel like we can handle it. We just need to kind of take a different approach. And we leveled up. And of course, being it's an MMO, you kind of want to not play with that until you get rid of the danger first. And there we go. Now, of course, understand there's going to be some kind of lag here because we haven't done this in about 2 years. We're like, okay, so how do you go about leveling up again? And got to go through all these stats and look at things, and don't really got any skill points, but we're still there's this like level. If you don't play some long enough, you become unfamiliar with it. It's a big problem. Oh, going through all the old, and actually one of the things it did when we first started playing is it it see all the primary skills. It actually like cleared all that, you know. So you had to like go back through and reselect all that. That was really a pain in the butt. We did actually have another character that was back in the days of the PlayStation 4 when the game first came out. Because of course you wanted to play this, you know. See, the thing that's great about it is there's no you know, it's not like Final Fantasy 14 where you got to pay $14-15 a month, and it's like, I'm sorry, I just don't want to do that. Now, we'll let you know there are dragons in this area. We're gonna we'll get to chase one around. Pretty fun stuff, you know. Well, the show is about over. It's been fun, you know. The Elder Scrolls Online's been something a little bit different, you know. We were starting to kind of in this year starting to kind of work our way away from the wrestling games, because we did that for like months, you know, and it was at a time when there really wasn't much to do. So we'll see you guys next time, you know. See ya.